24 years ago, Nintendo created arguably its most iconic console to this day, but yet a failure of a console during this time, and that console was called like I said, like the GameCube, even though it was iconic for what the games were and what we grown up with, it was a failure during this time. But in my opinion, it carried my childhood and it carried many other people's childhood. With this video, I wanted to share my top 5 GameCube games because a couple days ago, it was the GameCube's birthday. I just want to share a personal top 5 list of the greatest GameCube games of my time. But I'm not alone. I got the one, the only, your favorite Wolf Girly in the building, your favorite alpha in the motherfucking building, the shooter, Jada Sensei.
This one was hard. This
Yeah.
one was real hard. If you gave me top 10, I would have been able to do it a lot easier, but 5 is way more harder to concise because I'm over here scratching out my number 5 game right now. I'm like, do I want to put that as number 5? Do I just want to omit it altogether?
That's what makes number 5 definitely challenging, because that's like the 5 is like what carried you the most. It's like how did you feel about like the GameCube, like just growing up?
It was my favorite console growing up. It was my go-to console, so I have a lot of love for this system. Of course, the PS2 was a very, very, very close second.
I was about to say that, yeah, PS2.
But you know, the GameCube really did carry my childhood for a lot. Now, it did not have a lot of the games that I grew up playing because of, you know, it's Nintendo, it's a family company, you know, we're not going to have too many bad, scary games on there, but they definitely gave enough for me to keep coming back and keep playing and keep playing and keep playing. I'm excited for this list. Like, it took a minute, but I'm excited for this one.
Right, and I'm also too excited to put my list on. And everybody that's watching this video, if y'all want to put y'all top 5 GameCube games in the comments, let me know. Say in the comments right now, and like up and subscribe for some more. I could do this in the future. You know what I'm saying? If y'all feeling this, we could do PS2. All right, well, let's get into the list. All right. You know what? For this one, I'm gonna say ladies first. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just told you I don't have my number 5. Yeah, I'm still.
Yo, all right. You know what?
Okay, so I'm
right.
I'm like on the fence about these two. You go first. You go first. Nigga, it's your video.
All right. Well, while she figures out her number 5, my number 5 is Kirby Air Ride. Listen, Kirby Air Ride to me, arguably one of the best racers if we're talking like platformer, like racers, like in a competition between Sonic, Mario, even Crash Team Racing. I think Kirby Air Ride is like up there because of just how super fast paced it is, chaotic it is for a racing game. And I think like the aesthetic like vibe of it is what it fits me a lot, because I'm very like flashy, cartoonish, anime-ish in a way, and I also fuck with Kirby a lot. And it's funny enough that Kirby Air Ride was my first introduction into Kirby. I had no recollection of Kirby at all. This was before I even played Smash, like Melee, all that. So Kirby Air Ride to me was like my first pick into like getting into the series of Kirby. Oh man, I'm so happy that the fact that even Kirby Air Ride is coming back with Air Riders, and even they expanded upon like just city trials, and it's like, wow, dog. Like I feel like just that game was the big dog, like one of the big dogs like in the genre of GameCube. So that's just me for real. I can't wait to play the new one.
So I can't read. Looking at my list, I realized that I did have my number 5 and I was missing my number 4. But to counter argue your choice for Kirby Air Riders, my number 5 is Mario Kart Double Dash. Went triple platinum in my household. To this day, it is my favorite Mario Kart game. Nothing can top Double Dash in my personal opinion. It was just the fact that you had not one but 2 people that you could switch to. The maps were great, the music was phenomenal, the items that you can get in this game was just crazy, and I believe Double Dash introduced the blue shell. I want to say, I don't know if I'm right or wrong with that one, but I'm pretty sure it did.
I think it did. I
can't remember. It's been a long time, so that's actually one of the few games that I do not own in my collection that I want to get, because I played the fuck out of that game. Out of every single Mario Kart, I've never really touched Mario Kart 64 like that, but Double Dash was the game that I used to turn on all the time.
Right.
When my cousins would come over, we play that game. I'd probably be in last place because I was so bad at it, but that is my number 5. Nintendo, I don't think, can top anything like that. They try to do a Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World, to me, is not a good game.
That shit's boring.
It's cute. I'm not gonna hold you. I think they should have definitely given us something more on the Switch when they had Mario Kart 8 and not just the port for the Wii U. But that's just me. But Mario Kart Double Dash,
Right. Clock it. Yeah. Now I'm gonna let you go first now.
Okay, so this one, I teeter-tottered with this one. It was either this one or another one or another one. But I was like, I got to give it to what really introduced me to the franchise of what made me know it and love it to this day. I have to give it to The Sims Busting Out. That is my damn game. That is the game I played. Like, when I think about GameCube, I think about The Sims Busting Out because I owned it on GameCube. That shit took 161 blocks. If you don't know, the common, I think, memory card for GameCube used to have 240 or 200. Something super low.
Yeah, like super low.
The Sims was such a big game that was basically the only game that you could have on that GameCube. You better have another one on backup or something like that. But the music, the story, the quirkiness of the old Sims games, they always got me. But The Sims Busting Out with that storyline, that funky ass music, that bass line that you would hear in all their songs. Even the maps that you could play as, going to Dudley or Mimi's house in the beginning, it just always did something to me, and it really did transform my love to The Sims from playing The Sims 2 that was on GameCube. That was going to be the one I was going to put on this list as well, but I thought that the Bustin' Out game definitely deserved this number 4 spot over Sims 2 on console.
It's funny because like I feel like I heard about that game growing up, but I just never was like getting into it like that until like when you look at Sims 4 and you go back on the old Sims, you just kind of like, damn, like what the fuck happened? My number 4 is Soul Calibur 2. Soul Calibur to me was like how folks feel about Tekken. Like I felt like Soul Calibur was that really like a good like fighter.
They
like
both made Tekken and Soul Calibur, so they're synonymous, especially when you have Yoshimitsu in both of those games. Even depending on which one you played it on, Heihachi was also in it as well if you played the PS2 port.
Thing about that was what made the GameCube version so special. You got your boy, the green man, blonde boy himself. That man Link was OD. I was beating ass. I'm telling, belt to ass. I don't know what it was. Bro, like, to me, just seeing this nigga Link into Soul Calibur was just mind-blowing to me growing up as a kid. Because, like, you got all these, like, super serious-looking characters, and you look to your left, and then you just see Link, and it's just like, bro, like, that is a fire, like, crossover. Like, that is, like, exclusive crossover to me. And what my favorite move with playing Link is just throwing the bombs at niggas and they just get sent flying off the stage. I felt like Soul Calibur 2 as like a fighter in the game itself, it felt nice. Like it just felt very fun to play with. It was just more goofy with it. Like, and that's why I like Soul Calibur a lot. Like during this time, it was just goofy. Like even though like it was super competitive, even when Bandai was making it, and you know they also made Tekken. But I just felt like the formula they had with Soul Calibur, you can never really get that again. Like nowadays, we got Tekken is right there, but I miss Soul Calibur. So it's like I would love to like go back on it, play Soul Calibur 2, have a great time, and just the stages, the music, everything was just phenomenal with that game. Even the story mode that they have for Link
was the best thing. Like Soul Calibur 2 story mode was very top tier, but the best character in that game wasn't Link. It's that freaky Voldo. Voldo was that.
I fucking hate Voldo. I hate Voldo.
He used to terrify me as a kid, but as I've gotten older and I've gotten to choose him, he really is an OP character if you know how to play as Vanilla. People like to talk about Maxi, people like to talk about Keelik and all those other people, but Voldo is that dude. His movement is so different. He almost feels like Eddie in a sense with how he moves, but he's not similar to him. He feels something like it. But Voldo is my favorite character to play in Soul Calibur. I think it was called Weapon Mastery, where you could play the different like weapons that they could get. And for Voldo specifically, he would have tambourines. And I always used to love playing with the tambourines because they would make tambourine noise.
Yes. That shit, I cannot. That shit was fire. I just hated losing to that nigga just because like I could, as a kid, trying to figure out how you fight him, how you like try to get over him. Like even though like you said, Link ain't the best character, but I would say in a sense of he's not the best one. Nah, he's definitely not the best one.
To me personally, it's Voldo. It's always been Voldo.
Number 3, my pick is Zelda Wind Waker. I argue and say hands down has to be one of the best Zelda games. first of all, art style. I'm just get out the way. Art style. Even though like people didn't like the art style of that game, which I don't understand to this day, because when you have that type of art style, you have so many people try to replicate that style of the game, of what it looks like. And even sometimes they even bring back like Wind Waker Link. They brought back Wind Waker Link in Smash like mad times. Like he's back in Ultimate. And also what my favorite thing about the game is it didn't feel too much open world to me, but when you really was traveling and really was like just going out there in the world, it expanded. And you would think like, damn, for like how small the GameCube could really handle of a game, looks like, damn, like the GameCube really handled this type of game for it to be so out open spaces. Link was very expressive. That's why another thing why I loved about the game, having that colorful, goofy, like just cartoonish style and of just a Zelda game, to me is what appeals to me to a lot. Some of the dungeons definitely were challenging as a kid. Like the first one, like what was it, like dragon, like the dragon, I think it was called like the dragon yeah, that one, that was like the first one. And then like you go through there and it's like, whoa, yeah, like you go through there and then it's like it changes like the flow of everything with the game. So to even go through that, it was like, yeah, I loved it a lot. Now, did I beat it as a kid? Nah, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't beat it as a kid.
Not a real gamer.
But in my defense, I had other games distract me. But I did beat it though in the HD remaster. Now the HD remaster, that joint, yeah, that's way better than the original. But if you're gonna have to bring back a game like multiple times through like Wii U and into the Switch, I mean, that says a lot.
My number 3 game, I hesitated on this one of putting it in this position, but then I thought about it. I said, there's a reason why I have this one here. It should have been higher, but it's not going to be higher, only because of the multiple ports that it also came out on too. But this one specifically came out well, and its initial release was only for GameCube. This game definitely tested the waters when it came through survival horror. It definitely gave you a new approach to survival horror, and it's not something that we were used to because the previous game before that was Resident Evil Code Veronica. And this game, my number 3, will be Resident Evil 4. This was the first Resident Evil game that we saw that was a main title game that had quick time events. I believe the other ones may have been Resident Evil Survivor 1 and 2, but I've never played those. The storyline, the action, the weapons that you could choose from, even guiding Ashley, no matter how annoying she was in the game. It was just something so fresh. And when that game came out, when you first played in the village and you had to go across the chainsaw men and you had to get out of that village and you only had a pistol and a shotgun and you're trying to figure out how to traverse through this village and you're running out of ammo, it gave you so much fear just within the first 10 minutes of that game. And on top of that, it introduced some of the most scarier characters in Resident Evil histories, from the Regenerators to the Iron Maidens. Those games, like, those enemies were so terrifying. And then the boss fights were phenomenal. To this day, my favorite boss fight in that game will forever be Krauser, because unbeknownst to me, when I was a young kid, I didn't know that knife was as lethal as it was to him as it is now. Resident Evil 4 definitely, it had to be my top 5 because I'm a huge Resident Evil fan, and this one is just so phenomenal. I play it at least once, play it more than once a year, honestly. It is my one of my personal favorite Resident Evil games, and it definitely deserves some love and recognition. And they did so amazing with their remake that they dropped in 2023.
You know what? You go first.
Okay, so I'm going first. I played this game so much that I broke it. I had to get another copy of this game, and I just recently got a new copy of this game. This game continued my love for Zelda. This game continued my love for a lot of these franchises incorporated with this game. I love playing the adventure mode, the classic mode. I love playing the home run contest game. And I have to give my number 2 position to Super Smash Bros. Melee. This is still my personal favorite Smash Bros. Game, with Brawl being a very, very close second. Yeah, man, I played the fuck out of this game growing up. It was just so fun. And I think what it is the nostalgia and the thought of being a kid again and being around my cousins and being around my brother and playing with him and playing all these characters and learning about characters that I didn't know of, like Roy and Marth from Fire Emblem.
Right.
Or who else? Like Mr. Game & Watch. Like, I didn't know who Mr. Game & Watch was until I played Smash Brothers. I didn't know who Roy and Marth was until I played Smash Brothers Melee specifically. And this game just has so much love in my heart. Like, I remember playing the adventure mode, and the first level would be the Mushroom Kingdom. Then you would go to the Legend of Zelda levels. Or is it? No.
I
Legend
think
of
it
Zelda
was.
levels, then it's Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
It might be the other way. Regardless of the fact that I played numerous hours doing the arcade mode, doing I think it's like a game mode where you got to go through like a list of things and like fight a Giga Bowser or fight 50 Yoshis or whatever the case may be.
Wow, that was so fire. Ha!
Like Super Smash Bros. Melee definitely is my number 2. I love this game. It lies in a personal place in my heart, and I couldn't have a list without having Super Smash Bros. Melee on it.
Now, on my number 2, what's up, Twin? Yeah, Smash Bros. Melee is on my list for number 2. I literally the same way how you feel about it, because what's funny enough about it, I got my first Smash ever was Smash Bros. Brawl. That was my first one ever. I didn't really know about like Melee growing up, but until after I got Brawl when I was like 9-10 years old, around like when I got Melee when I turned 11, as a GameCube game, like that game is too iconic to not be on this list. Same way how you felt about like it showing, like, you know, carrying your love for like other IPs. For me, like Melee put me on, or just even Melee / Brawl, like those games like put me on to many IPs that I hadn't know about at all. Like I didn't even know about Fire Emblem. I didn't know Fire Emblem existed. I know Earthbound.
You don't know about those games because, realistically speaking, I believe those games weren't really readily available in North America. So Fire Emblem, I think, may have been, but Earthbound, I believe, was a Japanese-only release that made it into Smash Brothers. So when I was younger, I was like, "Who the fuck is Ness?" But I loved how he played. I was never good at playing Ness, but I used to love hearing him scream PK Thunder, PK Fire, all of that stuff. So,
right,
you know, like just hearing those sounds, it takes you back to that moment when you were a kid popping it in for the first time and seeing that opening cinematic where they throw the trophy and it's Mario standing there and he comes alive. It just takes you back. It really does take you back.
It does. And even nowadays, like when it comes to like Smash and like in a competitive sense, there are still some folks out here like still having tournaments on that game, which I ain't gonna lie, I'm surprised to this day, because that gameplay, I don't care what I love the game, but that gameplay is broken as fuck.
Good at that game, and you try to go into a tournament nowadays, you're gonna get peeled back. Like,
yeah, you are going
to shower. That's all they play.
Yeah,
their chair gonna have a skid mark in it because they don't leave that chair because that's all they know to play.
Yeah,
they're gonna pick Pikachu and they're gonna use that thunderbolt on your ass. Yeah, no.
Nah, it's crazy. And some of the most iconic moments like in Smash, like competitive scenes, is coming from Melee.
Happy Feet, Wombo Combo. That ain't Falco.
But shout out to Melee. Definitely thank you for carrying my childhood for real. You know, great game. She knows. You know what I'm saying? She knows. Like she knows. I just want to make it clear to y'all. Before we started recording, the moment we started recording, she texted me. She was like, "I already know what's on your list. You don't gotta say too much. I already know it gotta be in this." And that game that she's talking about is Sonic Adventure 2. Listen, don't shake it. No. Every Sonic fan knows this game is forever like golden in every Sonic fan's household.
But this game, like, I was like, it wouldn't have been an Astro countdown if this game did not grace at least top 2. I already knew it was gonna be a number 1.
Of course, this game made me love Sonic as a franchise 10 times more when I first played it. But it's my favorite one because of the characters, like all of them, like just introducing the Shadow, like the story of it is good, it's simple, the stages, the music. People to this day, they still want a remake for that game. We don't get a Sonic game like that gives us that type of feel like that for a very long time. Like I play this game too much when, like, if you ask me to play this game like blindfolded, I most likely will beat that game blindfolded. Like, we got the best version of Sonic, we got the best version of Knuckles, especially with his music. Bro, I bought that game multiple times in multiple ports. I bought it on PS3, I bought it on PC, and now I got it on GameCube. That game is never leaving my household. If anything, I feel like that game has set a standard for me for what type of games I love. I love games that are fast-paced, high energy. The aesthetic of it is very expressive, and just overall, as a Sonic game, that game like put up the standard for me a lot. Now, there are Sonic games that I just feel like they are way better than that game. Don't get me wrong, but if you're gonna ask me what game can really define my childhood, Sonic Adventure 2 is right there. That's right there. That's my, you know what I'm saying? That is in my blood, my veins. That's my tism. You feel me? Miss Sensei, what was your number one?
Number one, it's a given. You know me. You know how much I love this game. I haven't played this game in a very, very, very long time, but it is so near and dear to my heart. It is my favorite out of the franchise. And the one that is considered the most underrated one is my overrated one because I love it so much. My number one spot goes to The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. I love this game because of the cell shading. A lot of people didn't agree with it when it rolled out because, you know, it wasn't the typical art style that we knew and loved. And a lot of people shied away from it. The game, the soundtrack, the fighting, the story, the ending, it just, everything about it was just so great. And every time I play it, it's like I'm playing it for the first time all over again. I love it, and I like that because it's like sometimes I don't remember everything to do, so it does feel like I'm playing it for the very first time again. Because I'm like, okay, I'm at the Forsaken Fortress. Okay, but what do I need to do now? Okay, I'm at Dragon Roost Island. Okay, but what do I need to do now? Okay, I got the Wind Waker. Which way do I need to point the wind?
That was my favorite part of that game.
Let me see where the wind is blowing. I think my favorite boss fight in that one, of course, is the last fight, the Ganon fight. There was something so melancholic about that ending with how the Hyrule Castle was being
overtaken?
Because it was sinking, you know, like it was
it was drowning
in on it.
Yeah.
The water was closing in on it, and how Link was holding Ganon's, not Ganon, the King of Hyrule's hand, and he just let him go. And the way that Ganon died in that game, it was scary in a sense, but it was just, everything about that game just made me love it so much more. And you know, I think it's time for me to play that game again. I love the Wind Waker. I have a very mint copy in my collection. I have a mint copy of basically every game that I've said on this list except for, believe it or not, Double Dash and Resident Evil 4. But I'm looking for a very, very pristine copy of Resident Evil 4. I don't want it to look any type of way. I need a pristine mint copy. But yes, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker is my number one GameCube game. I love it so much. I played it so many days and so many nights. I've even had it on Wii U. I have the HD version of it as well. I haven't played that one yet, and I'm excited to, but yeah, this game is a chef's kiss. I love playing it. Love listening to the soundtrack. Love Dragon Roost Island. That is my favorite song from that game.
Yeah.
It just does something to me.
Game was amazing. Game is amazing. Especially with the Wind Waker one. That shit was beautiful. All right, well, that is our top 5 GameCube games. Like I said before in the intro, if y'all want to let us know in the comments down below what's y'all top 5 GameCube games. And yo, listen, shout out to the GameCube. Thank you for being a part of like my biggest childhoods for real. You know, besides from like the PS2 was a big carry for me personally, but the GameCube was right there. I have so many like good games from that whole console. You know, it's like why can I not show some love? You know, anything else you want to say, Jaya?
I just want to give some honorable mentions real quick because games. I have to give a couple of honorable mentions, but I definitely want to mention Animal Crossing. I want to mention Beyond Good and Evil. I want to mention Super Mario Sunshine, and what was the last one I was really struggling with? Part of me wanted to say Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, but I know that's the controversial game because a lot of people do not like it. Me personally, I thoroughly enjoy it. But I know that's a creative different for, you know, everyone. Everyone's gonna like it. Some people are gonna like it, some people are going to dislike it. But I really wanted to put Metal Gear Solid on there, but I think that would have been too easy of a giveaway for me to put that on there. So those are my honorable mentions.
I do also want to put some honorable mentions. Budokai 1, another honorable mention, I want to put Sonic Adventure DX. That's a really good one. And also want to put Mario Sunshine, even though I hate that game. It's hard as hell. Like, to this day, I still can't beat that joint going past the beach level with the big ass. Yeah. To hell with that game. But as a Mario game, it's up there.
It's up there. It is difficult, but I don't think anything takes away my hatred from Super Mario 64. I hate that game. When I tell you, I have it on my Switch, and every now and then I'll lay in bed playing it, and I'm like, I remember why I stopped playing this bullshit, and I turn it off and I go to sleep.
Comments, like it up. If we get up to like, you know what? If we get up to 15 likes, we'll do PS2. All right. So yeah, I'll see y'all next time. later in another video. That's Jay the Sensei. Check her out, twitch.tv/Jay the Sensei. And yeah, I'll see y'all later. All right, y'all. Peace.
Yeah.